Each family tends to be unique in one respect or another. They all function differently, have different dynamics and their own set of rules and traditions. You might be thinking that your family is the only one with some bizarre characteristics, but hold that thought because you're in for a huge surprise with this video. Some of the families we're about to discuss are quite extraordinary and not always in the healthy manner. After watching this video, you won't be able to say yours is the weirdest family in the world because some of these are quite incomparable. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Number 9. The Chana Family. This family is all about the numbers. You might have already heard about them on social media since they've been featured in quite a lot of videos, documentaries and articles. Unlike the other families on this list, the Chana family stands out because of its size. For this family, even gathering the whole bunch for group photos is a task requiring a lot of effort. Meet the Chana family, the largest family in the world. The patriarch of this family is 75 years old, Ziona Chana, and he has 39 wives. From these 39 wives, he has 94 children, and if that wasn't enough, he also has 14 daughters-in-law and grandfather's 33 grandchildren. In total, this family has 180 members, and they're still growing. Amazing, right? Now, you'd think a family with this many members would be spread throughout the country and not have such close ties. But again, you're mistaken because all 180 members of the Chana family live under one roof in a 4-story building. The building has around 100 rooms. The Chana family resides in a mountainous village in the Mizoram state of India. The locals state that Ziona prefers to have at least 7 or 8 of his wives with him at all times. The women of the house are busy with the daily chores, while the men do outdoor jobs like farming and taking care of livestock. You must be wondering how it is possible to feed 180 people 3 times a day. Well, we don't know how the ladies managed to cook this much, but we found out that the family consumes about 200 pounds of rice, more than 130 pounds of potatoes, and 39 chickens daily. Now, this might seem like the weirdest family in the world, but this is just the beginning. You're in for a lot of surprises, dear viewers. Number 8. The Marshall Family. If you thought celebrities were the only people guilty of going under the knife for enhancement surgeries, think again, because in comparison to the Marshall family, even Michael Jackson seems to have undergone just a few procedures. They're famously known as Britain's most surgically enhanced family. Chantel Marshall is the mother to these 4 young and beautiful ladies, and the 5 women have undergone around 13 enhancement surgeries. The family has stated it publicly that they have around 50,000 pounds of silicone in their bodies altogether. For your ease of understanding, this amount of silicone translates to around $65,000. Chantel has proudly claimed that they only hope to add to this number with further procedures. The only female in the family who prefer to keep her natural breasts is Brittany. According to her, she wants to maintain her natural figure and hates even the thought of breast implants. The mother, Chantel, and Brittany's 4 sisters got breast implants soon after turning 18. They were hoping Brittany would follow in their path, but despite her rejection, Chantel isn't discouraged. She claims that Brittany is just going through a rebellious phase and will eventually come around. Chantel is already encouraging Brittany to get breast enlargement surgery as soon as she turns 18. That's a first. Who thought there would be parents out there pressuring their kids into getting plastic surgeries? Ours wouldn't let us get any of those tiny cute tattoos even after we were adults. We hope Brittany stands her ground and resists this crazy obligation her mother is forcing on her. After all, it's her body, and she should be able to decide whether or not to go under the knife. Number 7. The Dwarf Family. Hailing from the city of Hyderabad, India, Ramraj Singh Chahun has a large and extraordinary family. Most members of his family, including he, suffer from a genetic disease called achondroplasia. It's a form of short-limbed dwarfism. This occurs due to genetic mutation in cartilage of limbs, which fails to be converted into ossified bone, in turn leading to short stature in the person suffering from this disorder. In the 11 family members of Ramraj's family, 9 have this condition. At one point, they had 21 people in the family and 18 of them were dwarfs. Due to the local culture lacking acceptance and education, the family is constantly subjected to humiliation and ridicule from the people around them because of the short height of their family members. But bullying isn't the only obstacle Ramraj and his family faces. Although it's scientifically proven that the condition has no receding effect on the intellect of the person, Ramraj and his family members suffering achondroplasia have a hard time finding jobs and therefore making ends meet because most people don't find them capable of doing the job like someone with normal health would perform. Because of their short stature, they do face problems while walking. This has forced Rumrush to work as a helper in a relative's grocery store so he can earn a livelihood for his family. Sometimes he gets hired as a wedding greeter, which means he gets paid to get dressed in an elaborate traditional costume and greet the wedding guests as they arrive. Life isn't easy for this family. They've been ridiculed so much that they were inclined to talk about how it hurts their feelings and adversely affects their self-esteem in an interview. Number 6. Pixie Fox and Justin Jedlica. Now this is one glamorous duo. 30-year-old Pixie Fox has built a reputation as the most famous plastic surgery addict in the world. The list of her plastic surgeries is pretty long and includes some pretty painful and horrific procedures. She got 6 of her ribs removed, liposuction on her inner and outer thighs, her eye colour changed, had eyelash implants, and if that isn't enough, she had her nose done and redone thrice. And obviously she had her breasts enhanced 4 times, as is visible in the footage. Pixie did everything she possibly could to become a real-life Barbie, and some would say she succeeded. Now all she needed was a Prince Charming, or Ken as we know him from the Barbie world, and this happened for Pixie when she met Justin Jedlica, who is basically her male version. Justin is also quite a legend in the world of plastic surgery, with numerous procedures he's undergone. He got chest implants, multiple shoulder and bicep surgeries. An estimate of 16 pieces of plastic is present in Justin's body. Together, the duo has undergone more than 450 cosmetic surgeries. To our disappointment, Pixie and Justin aren't romantically involved, but from what we know, they are extremely happy to have found each other, as previously both faced problems in their love lives due to their craze for aesthetic procedures. Number 5. Leah Bennoff and Draven. If you're a fantasy junkie, these two are going to be your favourite on the list. Turns out vampires don't just exist in movies or Stephenie Meyer's novels, and this weird couple is all the evidence you'll need. Lisa and Arrow call themselves the Twilight-themed couple. According to them, they met online and sparks flew instantly. It was in the year 2014 that 20-year-old Leah Bennoff and 38-year-old Draven bonded over the infamous vampiric ritual of sharing each other's blood. We bet this is going to give some of you nightmares. But it's true, Arrow believes that he's a vampire and Leah was pretty fascinated by the thought of dating a vampire. The Edward Cullen of her dreams, so she decided to become a vampire too. We don't know how that works, but the two have found their soulmate in each other and are glued to the hip as they live a life inspired by Bella Swan and Edward Cullen. Number 4. The Rapunzel Family. Jedlica Russell is 45 years old and is one of the women with the longest hair in the whole world. Her impressive dark mane measures around a baffling 6.5 feet in length. Hair this long isn't grown easily, however. She's been growing it all her life and hasn't cut it even a single time in that whole life. As the saying goes, like mother like daughter, Jedlica's 3 daughters, Kaylin, Cinderlyn and Chesney, are all following in their mother's footsteps to have long hair just like her. Between them they have more than 13 feet of hair. Grooming and maintenance of this much hair is, however, no easy task. The girls and their mother don't only focus on the length, but also ensure the health and presentation of their hair are impeccable. The girls use around 1/4 of a bottle of conditioner every wash. Can you imagine how many bottles they probably go through in a month? The family doesn't shy away from flaunting their best asset and use it to compete in and win long hair competitions in their home state of Illinois, USA. Because of this, they're nicknamed the Rapunzel Family by the locals. Number 3. The Duggar Family. We know all of you are waiting for this one, and who wouldn't, for this adorable family with 19 kids is famous around the world. The Duggars are one of the largest families in America, but it wasn't always like that. Jim Bob, the father, and Michelle, the mother, met through church in rural Arkansas, fell in love and got married in 1984. However, they didn't start having kids until 1988. The circumstances that followed drove the family to become religious fanatics. The miscarriage of their second child was the triggering factor, and they completely stopped using birth control and handed the reins over to God. And in return, God was pretty generous to them, as we all know now that the couple has 19 children. Incredible, right? The split is quite even though, with 9 girls and 10 boys. Another peculiar thing is that each child's name starts with the letter J. The Duggar family rose to fame with the booming era of social media and eventually were offered their own reality show. An offer they accepted, and therefore appeared on TLC in a show called 19 Kids and Counting. Number 2. Abby and Brittany Hensel. Like the Duggar family, the Hensel twins are pretty famous for their peculiar characteristics. Brittany and Abby are conjoined twins. They were born in Minnesota and they share an entire body. The sisters have 2 sets of almost all organs. They have 2 pairs of lungs, 2 stomachs and 2 hearts. However, they share the same liver and reproductive system. If you thought this unique situation was going to hold them back, you're gravely mistaken, because the twins like to go about life like most young adults. They have a job, they go on trips, they have friends with whom they hang out, they even graduated from college and now work as teachers in a school. They both have a separate teaching license and passport, but lucky for them, they just need to buy 1 ticket when they travel. Their personalities have synchronized over time and they've learned to complement each other's actions and coordinate their movements. Their cooperation is so efficient and advanced that they're able to pass a driving test. It's inspiring to see them make the most of life despite their condition. Number 1. Linda Bannon and Timmy. At number 1 we have this inspiring mother-son duo hailing from Chicago. 40-year-old Linda and her 14-year-old son Timmy suffer a rare genetic condition called Holt-Aram that causes them to be born without arms. But this has failed to keep them from enjoying their lives to the fullest. Despite all the difficulties they have to face because of this condition, the mother and son have adapted to their circumstances. They learn to perform all routine tasks requiring hands using their feet. They even take part in competitive activities. Timmy especially enjoys taekwondo and swimming, and Linda is a kindergarten teacher and is training in becoming a motivational speaker. During her pregnancy, Linda was warned by her gynecologist that her child might have the same condition as her, and she was given the option to terminate the pregnancy. But Linda and her husband didn't give it a second thought. For them, their child was perfect whether he had arms or not, and they believe he could live a full productive life. After all, his mother was living proof. Timmy did, however, had a rough start because of the heart problems that are also a consequence of the Holt-Oram condition, but this small setback could not keep the boy from eventually thriving like his mother. That was all about the most incredible and unique families in the world. Which one did you find most intriguing? Do let us know in the comment section. We hope you enjoyed the video. For more smashing and informative content, stay tuned to our channel. Make sure you've turned on notifications. See you all next time.